When I opened that shelter cage door, I wasn't ready for what I was about to see. A Pitbull, the breed everyone's scared of, sitting there in the corner shaking, barely recognizable, just skin and bones. His ribs were sticking out like piano keys through this patchy, scarred-up skin. This was Max, a dog who'd completely given up on humans, on life, on everything. But what happened next? Man, it changed both our lives, forever. Max's journey to us started in the worst way possible. Animal control found him chained to a tree in some abandoned lot. No food, no water, no shelter, just a heavy chain and the brutal reality of human cruelty. For real. The vet estimated he'd been out there for weeks, maybe months. At 3 years old, this boy weighed only 42 pounds. For a pit bull, that's not just skinny, that's literally dying. His body was shutting down. Mange had absolutely destroyed his skin. Infected wounds all over his legs. His eyes, those beautiful amber eyes, were just empty. Not aggressive, not scared, just nothing, The shelter staff told me he had maybe 2 weeks left. I wasn't looking for another dog. My husband and I already had Luna, our gentle giant female pitty who ran our house with kisses and stolen pillows. But my friend Sarah, who volunteers at the shelter, sent me Max's photo. Just one photo. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. I saw past the broken body. I saw a soul silently screaming for help. By morning, I'd made my decision. Max was coming home. If you believe every dog deserves a second chance, and you're watching but haven't subscribed yet, no cap, that honestly breaks our hearts. Max needs people like you who can see past the scars to the heart underneath. Please hit that subscribe button because we need you and everyone who thinks like you. Together, we're changing the narrative about rescue dogs, especially misunderstood breeds like pit bulls. The shelter manager tried to warn me. Max hadn't shown interest in anything. Not toys, not treats, not even other dogs. He was a medical nightmare with dehydration, malnutrition, skin infections, and possible organ damage. The costs were going to be astronomical. But here's what I know about pit bulls. Underneath that muscular exterior beats the most loyal, loving heart in the dog world. They don't give up on us. How could I give up on him? The first 48 hours were terrifying, not gonna lie. Max wouldn't leave his crate. Luna tried everything to get his attention. She brought him her favorite squeaky toy, did her silly play bow, even shared her food bowl. Nothing. The vet visits were absolutely heartbreaking. Blood work showed severe anemia. X-rays revealed old fractures that never healed right. His teeth were damaged from trying to chew through that chain. Treatment plan? Medications, special diet, medicated baths, physical therapy, and most importantly, time. I started sleeping on the couch next to Max's crate. No talking, no touching, just being there. On the third night, something shifted. I woke up to a wet nose touching my hand through the crate bars. Max was reaching out. For the first time since his rescue, he initiated contact with a human. I cried. Not quiet tears, ugly, shoulder-shaking sobs that woke my husband. But these were good tears. Hope tears. Progress came in tiny victories. Day 5, Max ate from my hand. Day 8, he let me touch his head without flinching. Day 12, he walked 3 steps outside before collapsing. Luna stayed by his side through everything. She seemed to understand he was fragile. Dogs have this incredible ability to sense suffering, and Luna became Max's personal nurse, therapist, and hype girl all rolled into one. By week 3, the physical transformation started. His skin began healing. Fur slowly grew back in patches. But the biggest change was in his eyes. That emptiness was fading, replaced by curiosity, maybe even hope. He started watching Luna play with real interest. One morning, I saw his tail wag, just once, a tiny movement that lasted maybe a second. But it was there. Max was remembering how to live. The real breakthrough came on day 27. I'll never forget it. Luna was doing her usual afternoon crazy time, racing through the house like a maniac. Suddenly, Max stood up and walked out of his crate on his own. He walked right up to Luna and play-bowed. It was shaky. His legs were still weak, but the intention was crystal clear. Luna gently play-bowed back. They touched noses. And then they started to play. Max was coming back to us. The next 2 months were intensive, y'all. Vet visits twice a week, meds 4 times a day, special high-calorie food, physical therapy, medicated baths. It was exhausting and expensive. But watching Max transform was worth every sleepless night and every dollar spent. His weight climbed steadily. 42 pounds became 65, then 85, then finally a healthy 110 pounds of pure muscle and love. His coat grew back thick and shiny, revealing this beautiful brindle pattern. But the physical changes? They paled in comparison to the emotional transformation. Max discovered joy. Real, pure joy. He learned that hands give pets, not pain. That food comes regularly. That home means safety, not suffering. He became obsessed with squeaky toys, especially this rubber chicken he carries everywhere. He developed a morning routine, waking us up by gently placing his massive head on the bed and staring until we open our eyes. He mastered the Pitbull lean, pressing his entire body weight against you because apparently personal space is optional. Luna and Max became inseparable. For real, they've got their own language now. When Max gets anxious during thunderstorms, Luna lies across him, her weight providing comfort. When Luna gets too hyped up, Max just sits next to her, and somehow his presence brings her peace. They share everything: toys, food, even our bed. Watching them together, you'd never know Max's dark past. You'd just see 2 pit bulls who found each other and decided to be best friends forever. Here's what Max taught me about rescue dogs. They remember everything, the good and the bad, but they choose to forgive. Max could have become aggressive, fearful, reactive. He had every reason to hate humans. Instead, he chose love. Every single day, he chooses love. The honest cost breakdown? Initial vet care, $3,200. Medications, $890. Special food, $600. Physical therapy, $1,100. Total, roughly $5,790. Was it worth it? I'd pay it 10 times over. No cap. Max isn't just a dog we saved. He's family. He's Luna's brother. He's proof that broken doesn't mean unfixable. Today, Max is a certified therapy dog, visiting hospitals and schools. Kids who are scared of dogs meet Max and learn that fear comes from not understanding. The dog who gave up on life is now giving life back to others. Some people ask why I chose a Pitbull. They're dangerous, they say. Let me be crystal clear. In the 1.5 years we've had Max, he's never shown aggression. Not to people, not to other dogs, not even to the neighborhood cats. Pitbulls aren't born aggressive. They're made that way by humans who abuse them. Max's story isn't unique in its tragedy. Thousands of dogs suffer daily. But what about the thousands who don't get saved? What about the dogs still chained to trees, starving in overcrowded shelters? They're waiting for you. As I watch Max and Luna sleeping together right now, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Max didn't just get a second chance at life. We got a second chance to be the humans dogs think we are. Before we end, I want you to think about this. Would you have opened that cage door, or would you have walked away?